Alright, so yesterday while I was playing around trying to figure out my brake leak, I ended up trying to get unstuck, and in the result, I ended up with a service engine light now. I've decided to come back out and see if it is back on. I do not have a service engine light, so obviously I just made it very unhappy when I was out here messing around and, doing 40 in reverse and not going anywhere. Okay, a little bit over exaggeration. So, I was actually going to go through how to read the error code if it was on there. So I do have the GM code reader for this truck, and so I guess I don't need to do that, but in this code reader it does come with a book with all the codes on it. It tells you that when you plug it in, turn your ignition just to the on position after you plug it in. Make sure you have it to ECM to begin with, and this will read your codes. It will start off with a 1-2 code, which means that it's talking to your computer and that it's in the diagnostic mode, and then all the flashes after that then are your errors. And then in that book you can see what each of those errors mean. But since I'm already here, yeah, I don't have codes, but I figured I'll give you an idea of what you need to do here. So use my camera work here. So underneath here you have your connector. Mine looks like it's all beat to crap. I plug this in. You can also use a paper clip and do a jumper. Hey, I'm not about doing that because I don't want to fry anything. So you turn your ignition to the on position, and then you start counting the flashes. So you had 1, goes 1, pause, 1, 2, so that's your 12, showing that it is connected to your ECM. It will go through this 3 times, and then once that is complete, it will then go into your next set of errors. And then once you're done, turn it to the off position, and then just remove your diagnostic reader here from your plug, and that's all there is to it. Like I said, I have the book in the house that has all of the codes in it, and kind of gives you an idea of what the codes are for what you're seeing out here. As I said before, I got to fix my brakes, obviously. I have a brake leak on the rear passenger wheel cylinder, so now I'm looking to rebuild the whole brake. I'm in the process of trying to find parts for that. I know when you look around the truck, you'll see that my radio is kind of just thrown in there. It's not the permanent radio that I want in here. It was a cheap radio that I got for like $10. It's missing the remote to it, so trying to play a CD is quite complicated. Or playing the CD is easy. Trying to go back to the radio and then back to the CD is a little bit more complicated. I have the kit to fix the DIN area so it's all closed in, nice and neat and tucked away. Like I said, until I get my permanent radio, I just have this one shoved in there for now. It's not going to hurt anything. I did get the wiring harness connector to put that in, so that way I can just unplug it and plug in a new one. You can also see I do have a makeshift speaker box that I put here in the center. There's a speaker on each side of it. I plan on taking and covering that this summer whenever it's a little bit warmer and I don't have anything else better to do. And then I also have another speaker box behind the seat along with my amp that powers that, in which that's what some of these cords are coming out of where the head unit is. I will go through that on another video, what all I threw in here. Hey, this is my beater with a heater, and kind of my truck that I play with to, you know, fix things, learn more about how it works and that. So it's kind of just my toy project when I don't have anything else better to do. So we'll kind of take a tour of the truck and then in another video. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful on how to read codes. Like I said, I have the book in the house. So all right, thanks. All right, so I'm back in the house. This is the manual that comes with the code reader. It's for 92 to 95, excludes Cadillac. But also keep in mind that if you have a 95 Blazer, it actually has a different connector, but it reads the same as these. So if you have this code reader, it does not work because it has the other ODB connector on it. And if you have the other code reader, it does not read properly either because it has the new connector, but it has the old wiring. So it's a little bit of a challenge to diagnose the 95 Blazer. A friend of mine has one. We learned this, and so it's kind of, you have to go in and read all of your values to find out what your issue is. So anyway, so as I was doing the code reading on that, we saw that there was a 1-2 flash and also a 44. I wasn't expecting a 44 since there was no check engine light. So if we come back here, we can see that the 12 just represents that it's in diagnostic mode. And then the 44, if we go to that, it is a lean exhaust indicated, which I do have some exhaust problems there. It's actually a straight exhaust back. I do have a couple of oxygen sensors on there, but I've never replaced them. So I'm not too worried about the lean exhaust indicated. I'm assuming that would probably be the error that was thrown yesterday when I was out messing around with it. So you have all the different codes in here. So this is all for ECM, and it goes on for multiple pages. It has it. So if you have a Saturn, the codes are actually different. That is also in here. These are all for the Saturn. And then you can also switch it to ABS mode, and it will read all the different ABS errors as well, which my truck does not have ABS, so it just has the standard stopping and going, which is fine by me because me and ABS don't get along, and if I can disable the ABS, I'm more than happy to do so, as long as it doesn't cause any other issues. So, yep, just plug that in, read your codes, come back to the book, figure out what the codes are, and then you can also do a quick search on the internet to get more details on these codes. So I hope this helps somebody. I know it was kind of a challenge for me whenever I was getting the error code while trying to figure out whether it was a distributor, whether it was injectors, and a bunch of other things, because it was throwing all sorts of codes, and you kind of had to cross-reference the codes to try and figure out what it all meant. So, okay, code reader is pretty nice to have, even though you don't use it very often, but it's always nice to have in your back pocket. I think I paid like 20 bucks for this one, so for $20 I would rather use it than use the paperclip strip. So all right, well, thanks for watching. I hope this helps somebody. The GM code reader for 82 to 95. Thanks.